Cleveland Browns fans have been waiting, desperately, for answers, for direction, for some sign that the organization understands just how critical this offseason really is. After one of the most chaotic coaching searches in recent franchise history, the silence from general manager Andrew Berry only made things worse. Candidates withdrew. Others took jobs elsewhere. National media mocked the process. And once again, Browns fans were left wondering, does this organization truly have a plan? Now finally Berry has spoken, and what he revealed changes everything. Because this isn't just about hiring Todd Monken as head coach. This is about a complete offensive reset. Berry made something crystal clear in his interview. The Browns are about to flip their roster-building philosophy. When he arrived in Cleveland after the 2020 season, the Browns had just drafted Baker Mayfield. The mission back then was obvious. Surround the young quarterback with talent. Invest in the offense. Patch together the defense. Then, over the next few years, the focus shifted. The Browns poured resources into the defensive side of the ball, building one of the most formidable units in football. And it worked. But now, the defense is solid, the offense is broken, and Berry didn't sugarcoat it. He acknowledged that anyone watching Browns football with two eyes knows exactly where the investment needs to go this offseason. That's not spin. That's accountability. For the first time in a long time, the Browns are openly admitting the offense needs a full-scale rebuild. And here's where things get interesting. When Berry explained why Todd Monken was the right hire, he focused on something very specific: adaptability. Monken has coached mobile quarterbacks, traditional pocket passers, veterans, young prospects. He's run air raid concepts. He's run power schemes. Most importantly, he doesn't force quarterbacks into a rigid system. He builds around them. That's the opposite of how Cleveland has operated in recent years. Previously, quarterbacks were expected to fit the scheme, whether it suited their strengths or not. Now the message is clear. The scheme will fit the quarterback. And that strongly suggests the Browns are preparing to draft one. With 2 first-round picks in the upcoming draft, Cleveland has flexibility. They can stay put. They can trade up. They can pair a quarterback with offensive weapons. But make no mistake, Berry emphasized how valuable that draft capital is. That's not accidental. It feels like preparation for a major move. Which brings us to the name Browns fans can't stop talking about, Shedeur Sanders. Even though Berry never mentioned him directly, the fit is hard to ignore. Shedeur isn't a system quarterback. He's shown he can operate in multiple offensive structures, first at Jackson State, then at Colorado. He's comfortable in the pocket. He can extend plays. He processes defenses quickly. His football IQ stands out on film. And just as importantly, he's mature beyond his years. Berry stressed alignment, cultural fit, philosophical fit, leadership. Those conversations, he said, happen before hiring a coach, not after. Shedeur checks those boxes. Despite the spotlight that's followed him, he's handled pressure with composure. He understands branding, media, leadership. At 22 years old, he carries himself like someone ready to lead a franchise, and Cleveland desperately needs that. There's also something else that can't be ignored. Berry talked at length about rebuilding the offense, about investing heavily, about surrounding the quarterback with the right pieces. But there was one name he didn't bring up, Deshaun Watson, not once. For a quarterback under contract with a massive cap hit, that omission is loud. If the organization still believed Watson was the long-term solution, you'd expect at least some mention of building around him. Instead, the focus was on flexibility, on adaptability, on the future. Drafting Shedeur Sanders would effectively signal the end of the Watson era, even if the contract complicates things. You don't spend premium draft capital on a quarterback unless you plan to start him. You don't hire an adaptable offensive mind unless you're preparing to shape an offense around someone new. And the free agent